Hello everybody, welcome to Build Fly Go. So it's still snowing in Wisconsin. It's going to be snowing here probably for the next few months. But I had sort of an opportunity to get some flying done, and this week. I'm actually recording this one reasonably close to when the flight happened. So we are going down to Georgia and then Alabama. If you guys remember, I had a life raft that we took on our trip to Brazil for the sort of crossing over the Caribbean and mostly from the Caribbean into South America. There is a big stretch of there's a 100+ mile stretch of ocean crossing there that were in less hospitable waters, if you will. They're not the warm, balmy blue waters of the Caribbean. They were sort of the colder, less balmy waters of the sort of the northern South America. So we had that raft. It's a fairly large raft. I believe it's a 4-person raft with a canopy and all this kind of stuff. It's a near shore raft, not an offshore raft, but it's definitely good enough for offshore. And it's rather heavy for a 2-seat airplane. And how these rafts work is you have to recertify them and get them overhauled every X number of years. And so we had originally paid to get that certified and overhauled for the trip. When we purchased the raft used, we got it overhauled. It was out of service date. And it was a 3-year overhaul. So we decided that it didn't make sense for us to just sit on it for the 2 years that were left effectively since the overhaul. So we decided to sell it. So the gentleman I sold it to, who lives in Georgia outside Atlanta, and as part of the deal I said, well, I'll pay for shipping. Little did I know that these rafts are effectively unshippable. Before I continue, so this is Warren County Memorial Airport in McMinnville, Tennessee. It was my fuel stop. It was about, I'm going to call it a 3-hour flight from Madison. And from here, we continue to Romeo Yankee Yankee, which is Cobb County International, which is just northwest of Atlanta. But anyway, nothing too exciting here. We're just getting fuel. And so about the raft. So it turns out that these rafts are unshippable because there are flares in them, and there's a compressed gas cylinder, and like things like that, right? So when you see the people on eBay saying that they can ship this, they're actually breaking the law and not declaring that there are dangerous goods when they ship these to you. So be very careful about buying a raft online. Anyway, so I discovered, of course, that I can't ship this thing. And, of course, my commitment was, he paid a certain price, and I was taking care of shipping. So, what the hell? Let's fly down to Georgia. So here we are. You also might remember that we've had a little dings and dents in the paint and things like that from the trip that were not fixed in our just quick 2-hour stop at Evoke Aviation on the way back from the trip. So I've been meaning to go down there, and in the meantime, of course, I've put additional dings and dents, a couple of little fiberglass scratches and things like that. So I decided, well, let's take care of 2 things at once, right? So I flew down to Atlanta, where you'll see us landing right now, and dropped off the raft at the FBO and for him to pick up, and then we head to Gadsden, where Evoke Aviation is and Plane Schemer, and they take fantastic care of us and are just fantastic guys guys and gals to work with. So this is that trip. It was a good trip. It was you'll notice in the beginning we took off IFR. It was IFR in Wisconsin. Busted through the clouds, very thin cloud layer. I did a lot of planning for that exit, right? Because you got to be careful in Wisconsin because of icing, right? At any time you're going through a cloud below freezing, you got to be really careful. So I did a lot of weather planning and made sure that everything was okay. And it's a very thin layer of clouds, and I climbed through it at almost 2,000 feet per minute, so we're in the clouds for less than a minute. So we were all good there, and then it was just beautiful and like this the rest of the way, and sunny and just gorgeous. We haven't seen weather like this in Wisconsin in a few months. You'll notice that right here we were actually waiting for that. I believe that was an Embraer Legacy 1000, which is the ERJ 145 business jet conversion. They were waiting for their IFR release. I don't know where they're going. That guy can go pretty damn far with a lot of people. They were waiting for their IFR release, and that was holding up, like 5 or 10 airplanes. There wasn't anywhere for him to pull off on the side of the taxiway. So poor guy was probably a little stressed by holding everybody up. But it was fine. There was a couple of Texans behind us as well. That was pretty cool, T6 Texans. Cool looking airplanes. I saw a couple of them land. They land really flat. I want to say they landed on all 3 wheels at once for the 2 landings that I saw, which was really interesting. Not used to seeing that. I'm used to seeing airplanes land on the mains and then just bring the nose down. But these guys were landing real flat. Anyway, so this is a gorgeous flight, I guess, into the sunset towards Gadsden, towards Alabama. It's just a quick half hour from Atlanta to Gadsden, Alabama. Maybe 40 minutes, something like that. Very, very, very short. So I picked up fuel in Warren County, just dropped off the raft at Cobb County, I believe, in Atlanta. The big FBO there was very nice and was okay with not charging me any fees because I was just dropping something off, and just turned around and took off and went to Gadsden, where you will see us landing. This part of the country is really pretty. It's sort of these nice little hills, and well, it's warm, that's nice. Nice and hilly, and rivers, and it's just like very sort of colorful. I'm in my nostalgic, it's winter in Wisconsin, so everywhere else is really pretty mode, so apologies. There were a couple of airplanes in the pattern, maybe not in the pattern, in the area. There's one guy who is talking on CTAF on the frequency, who is actually coming down the river the other direction. And I have an eye on him because I want to make sure he's sort of passed off, way off on my left. So I had an eye on him to make sure we were safe there. But here we go. So we are just setting up for the landing at Gadsden. Nice 2 runways. A little low there, apparently. And we'll taxi off to, there we go, taxi off to the Evoke Aviation hangars. And you'll notice, here we go, Jonathan, I believe, was the only person there at this point. This is Sunday, right? Like, the guy works 7 days a week. It's crazy. He was taking pictures of an airplane. No, Samantha was there too, but she didn't come out. Anyway, so here you'll see, I'm just taking a peek around. We're moving some airplanes to make things fit. And there's a beautiful Bonanza there getting painted, and we're going to sort of pull it forward and get it out of the way. But then we'll pull the plane in. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. I'm not getting rich off of YouTube videos. That's definitely not the case. But it does throw a couple of bucks our way. Pays for the utility bill at the hangar, for sure. So I appreciate you guys watching and your comments and your engagement, and just tell us what you want to see. I love making these videos. All right, have a good night, everybody. We'll talk soon.